Hi everyone. So I had like a bit of a crash out earlier today, and it wasn't necessarily because of um I had a troll today, like a troll bothering me today, but it wasn't necessarily because of that. Because I'm used to dealing with online trolls by now, and I just handle myself. But it's more that like the whole thing of gang stalking that got me angry. I think it was a combination of frequency manipulation being aimed at this building. So I think it's a combination of that, but also a combination of anger buildup because I've been binge eating more and I have been gaming more. And usually when that happens, it means a crash out is imminent. It means it means a crash out isn't far behind, right? So I've been justifiably crashing out over the fact that I am involved in this slow kill torture meant to kill and torture me, right? So I've been crashing the fuck out and my back went out. But even as my back went out, I was literally so angry. I just kept going. I just kept crashing out, crashing out, crashing out. But now I'm kind of asking myself, I'm kind of questioning it now because I'm thinking I had to have thrown my back out. I mean, I'm 40 years old and I have sciatica, so there's no way that it's not, there's no way that like I can't throw my back out. I mean, I get attacked by DEWs every day. There's no way I didn't throw out my own back. There is no way. So I'm thinking that, but at the same time, I'm thinking, did I really throw out my own back? Or was the DEWs fired at my back whilst I was crashing out? So I think I'm kind of in two minds about it. And that's kind of where DEWs leave you, because not every pain or sensation that you experience is DEWs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes when your back goes out, it's because your back went out. It's not because of any DEWs, and it's not because of, anything that's been done to you by the gang stalking. But then it makes me think the timing is fucking suspect. Because my thing is this, right? I'm supposed to be moving the first of my things out on like Monday the 8th. So the money's been, not all of the money's been raised, but I have enough to where like I'm able to pay for movers. I've already paid for my storage unit. So I'm about to pay for movers on Monday when these people arrive, right? Unless the gang stalkers throw some other spanner in the works, which they probably will. So it's supposed to be like a move on Monday the 8th, which is a couple of days away. It's not the full move. Like I'm only moving like a portion of my stuff. And then the closer I get to the deadline date where the bailiffs let me know I have to move out by this date, when it gets closer to the date of me absolutely having to move out, that's when I'm going to like remove the rest of my stuff. So that is the plan. So this first go round is just removing some of my stuff. And then when I get the deadline, I'm moving the rest of it. Do you understand what I mean? So that is literally what's happening right now. I'm just like organizing my things in a way where I'm not overstressing myself. That's what's happening at the moment. So the timing of me throwing my back out. So I just happened to throw my back out whilst I'm crashing out, and at a time where I have to move like some of my belongings out of here in a couple of days. Do you understand what I'm saying? The timing is very, very suspect. Again, that's the tricky thing about DEWs, because again, like I could have easily just threw my back out, bro. There's no reason why it has to be the DEWs, but it's the timing you gotta watch. It's the timing. And The frequency weapons have been re-escalated again. And I know it because I could feel it. And I know because this morning, these neighbors here were either banging at my door or theirs because I was sleeping and they wanted to wake me up. So one of them was doing that, which leads me to believe that it's a combination of things. The first thing was because frequency weapons are being fired at the house, it's elevating anger, anxiety, or something, and aggression. It's elevating aggression, essentially. And when it comes to upstairs, they're usually the ones that get it first and hardest. When it comes to DEWs, I'm the one that gets it. But when it comes to frequency weapons, remember, they have to come from above. So they come from above down to this flat. So whatever aggression I'm feeling, they're likely to be feeling it more. It just manifests differently. So it's like, I believe that it's a combination. Their behavior is a combination of the weaponized frequencies and like just feeling irrelevant. Because this is the thing about perps, right? With all narcissistic people and with all people who are abusive, they operate on red or green. Red being your own self-destruction, or green being their destruction. So that is the only thing they know, red or green. You do both, fine. They can accept that. But one thing they can't accept is amber. If I am ignoring their tactics and focusing on myself, that's amber. If I tell the truth about their behavior, but I don't get violent, even if I do get violent, if I don't hurt them or kill them, that's amber. If I'm being assertive rather than trying to dominate over people or talk over people, or conversely without bowing down to people, that's amber. If I offend these people and insult these people rather than like being violent or being self-destructive, that's amber. If I offend these people, that's amber. These people get way more violent with people who are amber than with people who are red or green. That's something that I'm figuring out as a victim of gang stalking. People are way more harsh and overreactive with people who are in amber than red or green. And the reason for that is that abusive people operate on a binary. They operate on wanting to give you the best option out of two evils so that they can maintain control. And when they can't maintain that control, they get aggressive. They get violent. So that is what I think is going on. I think gang stalkers do not respond well to being ignored, ever. Even if they're only getting paid for it. Let's just say a perp is getting paid to gang stalk people. Sooner or later they become their jobs. Do you understand? Like sooner or later they become what they do. So when you're a perp and your job is to antagonize a targeted individual, but that targeted individual is for the most part ignoring you and getting on with their lives because you have become your job, now you're seeing it as a slight against you when they ignore you. Now they're seeing it as a, you know, now when you're a perp and you've become your job, you see people ignoring you or making you irrelevant in their lives as a slight. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what they see it as a slight. Also being calm kind of falls into that, but then again, you can lose your temper and still be in amber. You can lose your temper and still be in amber. They again, abusers don't like amber. They like to be able to give you the lesser of two evils so that you decide what you do from a place that they're satisfied with. That's why the more that I ignore these people, the more violent they get, because they want to be able to control how you respond to them. They want control over that. This is another thing. I'm about to get into a whole different subject now that does include gang stalking, but it's not limited to gang stalking. It's my ADHD brain, so forgive me. I was learning about how, because there's all this discourse around like gender wars and stuff like that. I follow that quite closely. And it's talking about how men feel entitled to women's time and labor. And this is true. Like, I'm following that, and, you know, it's about, they say, they don't see women as human. They don't see this as human or that as human. This is what I notice about privileged groups as a whole. Not just men, but any groups that are privileged, right? They are obsessed with people who are marginalized. Obsessed to the point where, no, they don't see our humanity. They just see a source of their fixation, right? And I know, because I've had obsessive tendencies and fixated tendencies, so I can relate to this. When you are obsessed with a thing or a person, and especially when you're obsessed with a person, their humanity is not there, because what you're seeing in the person or thing that you're obsessed with is your source of power, or you see in them power that you believe they have that you don't. That's what you're perceiving. And when you are obsessed with someone, there's only 3 options that you are willing to engage. The first is consumption. That could be like being in a relationship with them, being in like, you know, consumption can be like, for some people it might be about sex. For other people it might be about, you know, having a relationship with these people, not even a parasocial relationship, but like turning a parasocial relationship into something real. That's a consumption. That's a consumption. The second thing that they want to do is control what they're obsessed with. So turning what they're obsessed with into a weapon or a pacifier. So people who are obsessed with other people, some of the obsessed parties, they feel like, oh, they really respect us, and no, it's not respect. Nobody who respects themselves or respects the object of what they're fixated on would ever be obsessed. I know what it's like to be in love, to be genuinely in love, to genuinely love somebody. I know the difference. Like, love, it brings self-respect out in you. Like, genuine, real love, it makes you respect yourself, because it's like, you know, when you love this person, it means that you're willing to look after yourself enough to be what that person needs. So being in love with somebody, it creates self-respect, and it doesn't create fixation. It doesn't create obsession. It almost creates the opposite. It creates a need to take care of yourself, to be present for yourself, because you not only want to preserve the love that you have, you want to preserve yourself too. That's what love does for you. But when you're obsessed or fixated with the person, you want to consume that person or control that thing or that person. You want to control them. You want to have power over them. You want to keep them in their place, because that's the only thing that will satiate your addicted brain, to have control over them. So that's the second option. The third option, when it comes to an obsessed or fixated mind, is to destroy the source of obsession. To destroy it. So obsession and fixation, when it comes to privileged people, they do have that for marginalized people. And not only do they have that for marginalized people, they want marginalized people to have that for them. And this is where I get really brutal with it. This is where I get brutal with it. The reason why privileged people want marginalized people to be obsessed with them is because for privileged people, that's the only type of love they know. Privileged people want marginalized people to be obsessed with them because that's the only type of love they really know. Again, these people can mistake love and attention for the same thing. It doesn't matter what kind of attention it is. And when you're dealing with people like that, they see aggression towards you as a form of play. Like a lot of privileged people see their obsession, fixation, and whatever else as genuine love. Some of them see it as genuine love. Some of them see it as attention that marginalized people should be grateful for. That's how they see it. They see it as attention and love that marginalized people should be grateful for, even if it results us being consumed, being controlled, or being destroyed. Because that is literally the only type of love that privileged people are familiar with. Within the context of, it's the only type of love they're familiar with like that. Obsession, fixation, consumption, control, or destruction. That's the only type of love they know, really. That's the only type of love they really respect. That's the only type of attention that they're used to, because that's what they feel all the fucking time. Especially people among the privileged classes who are bigoted. That's all they know. That's the only type of love they know. That level of wanting to control, consume, or destroy is the only type of love they know. And when I say privileged classes, I'm going to put perps in that. I'm going to put perps in that. When you become obsessed with a person, you stop seeing their humanity. You stop seeing them for who they are. It's not something that's just restricted to privileged people, because anybody can be obsessed and anybody can be fixated. But if you want to talk in terms of systemic injustice and how that manifests and why that manifests, obsession and fixation and the maladjustment of people when it comes to addicted brainwaves, that is the reason. That is the core source. You leave people so broken. You leave people as functioning depressives and functioning addicts who work, consume, and sleep, with barely any room for anything else than feeding their vices. And when you create a culture like that, you are going to get a hierarchy that is built upon rewarding people for their obsession, rewarding people for their fixation, as long as those obsessions and fixations are focused in the right place to maintain a hierarchy. That is what all of this is about. Like the obsession and fixation thing. Yeah. Consume, control, or destroy. That's what obsessed people do. That's what obsessed people want to do. And again, I don't speak of it as somebody who has no experience with obsession. I have plenty of experience with that. Because all obsessed and fixated people see is wanting to feel powerful. Where does that come from? A profound lack of feeling safety, a profound lack of inner security, a profound lack of knowing who they are, having their own voice, having their own perspective. Still there, but it's just that because I found. So yeah, basically, the key behind obsession and fixation is being obsessed with finding power. And the obsession with finding power, it comes from feeling a distinct lack of safety. It comes from a deep-seated insecurity. And I know what a lot of people are going to say, well, duh. But people have to understand where that insecurity comes from. The insecurity does not come from feeling bad about yourself as a person. That's not where it comes from. It comes from fear. It comes from never feeling settled. It comes from never really feeling secure. And truth be told, that's more of a material thing than it is an ego thing. Ego definitely comes into it, but if you don't feel safe and you don't feel secure most of the time, you're going to be obsessed and fixated with anything that you believe will bring you that safety, or anything that you believe is threatening that safety. If you feel insecure about everything all the time, if you are not educated and everything scares you, even if you are educated, and you've been raised with bigoted ideals and everything fucking scares you, that is a lack of security. Fear of the world is where insecurity lies. It's not that it doesn't have anything to do with you. That can come into it too. But if you're fucking scared of everything, if you're fucking scared of everything and you don't, and you see aggression as a part of everyday life, then for you, it would be an expression of love, wouldn't it? For you, that would be an expression of love. For you, that would be an expression of something good, which is being conflated with your behaviors that, that come from fear, that being your obsession and fixation. So yeah, obsession and fixation and the desire for power, it does come from insecurity, but it's the kind of insecurity that is afraid of the world. It doesn't come from the type of insecurity in where you just feel like shit. It's not as simple as that. And that's another thing about perps as well. Because perps become their jobs, perps become, what they're paid for. When you ignore them, when they're obsessed and fixated with you, and your response is to just ignore them and get on with your life, it triggers their insecurity. They're already scared of everything. So when you ignore them and you get on with your life, they're just walking around waiting for the other shoe to drop. So they keep needling you and needling you and needling you for a response, because if they needle you and they get a response out of you, it means they're in control of the response. Remember what obsessed and fixated people look for: control, consumption, or destruction. And control can either be red or green depending on what your reaction is. But yeah, that's what abusers look for. That's what gang stalkers look for. I'm sorry, it's a bit messy back here. That's what gang stalkers look for. They look for control, consumption, or destruction. And it's not just about perps. It's about literally anybody who's privileged, anybody who's been taught that they are entitled to things, anybody who's been taught to fear everything. Yeah, it's a complex thing. It's a complex thing. That's why my gang stalkers act the way they do towards me. Because they're scared of fucking everything and they want to make it my problem. Perps are scared of literally everything, and they want to make it the targeted individual's problem. Men are scared of everything. They want to make it a woman's problem. Literally every other race on the planet are afraid of the world, and they want to make it black people's problem. It is what it is. Straight people are scared of their own shadow. They want to make it queer people's problem. The insecurity, it comes from fear of the world. It does not come from a dislike of yourself. You can like yourself and still be completely afraid of the world around you. It's entirely possible. So this need for control, this need to kind of like control everything and control people comes from, that's where it comes from. So when I'm minding my business and just fucking sleeping, of course that's what brings, their rage out, because how dare she sleep while I'm awake worrying about the crimes I've committed? Like, bro. You know what I mean? That's what happens. People get obsessed and fixated on you, and then they want to blame you for it. When it's not your fault, they're scared of the world. So, yeah. I really want to go out as well, because like my back is... I've taken a painkiller, and no, I think I took a couple of painkillers. So it's like my back is still seized up, but it doesn't hurt as much. And I really want to go across the road and get some food, because I haven't eaten yet. But like my back is just... And I wanted to wash my hair today. If my back is all fucked up and seized up, like washing my hair is going to be difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. I'm just thinking, because I really want to go across the road and get some food. I ordered in yesterday, and I don't want to do that again. I don't want to make another Deliveroo, but I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Oh, God, my back is killing me, man. And I'm supposed to do readings today. Like, there's so many readings I haven't done. And on top of the move, like, the new moon in Margashirsh is coming up in a few days, and I don't have anything ready. It's like, damn. But then again, between me moving home and, I don't know, gang stalkers trying to kill me at random moments, and also gang stalkers most likely incapacitating me at random moments as well, I got a lot on my plate over here. So, yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I went to the GP today, and why am I saying I went to the GP? I didn't go to the GP. The GP called me on Thursday because I didn't attend. I didn't go down there. So the GP called me, which is really handy. It's a good thing she did. And I explained to her that because the gang stalkers were trying to kill me by firing directed energy weapons on my heart, that I wanted to get an ECG scan so that I could prove what was going on. Like, the GP tried to argue the point and say, oh, you know, because that's what they usually do, right? So the GP tried to argue the point, or tried to question me in a way that she feels might make me trip up over my words, but I simply explained clearly, right? She said, where do you think the attacks are coming from? And I explained it to her, because the last time this flat was scanned, there was heavy radiation coming from the southeast. So it could be in the southeastern direction, or it can come from the northern direction, because it's in direct traffic. Cars can park there. I didn't explain the cars parked part, but cars can park there. Cars are parked there all the time. And those cars could have directed energy weapons in the car. Or they could basically use an app to fire certain weapons on my body, because there have been attacks that have come from the north as well. Come from the bedroom into here. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I was in the bedroom right now, my attacks would be a lot fucking worse. Because sometimes the attacks will come from the north of the building. So I explained this to her, and I also explained to her there are different types of DEWs, different types of electronic weapons that are used on people. So when she came off the phone, I don't know who she was talking to, because sometimes I'll be on a phone call, and when I come off the phone, I can hear the other person talking to whoever it is, like the third person on the line, or the person that's in the room with them. And in this case, I think somebody was in the room with the GP. And I think that what they said was, she's clearly not imagining it, because she's able to explain it quite clearly what's going on. So she told me to contact reception and get myself an ECG scan. And after some time, because it kind of went out of my mind, after some time, I finally remembered to call the GP surgery and get myself like an ECG scan. And suddenly I'm contacting the GP surgery, and they're telling me that I'm no longer a patient there. So not only did I have to go through the whole process again, but this GP surgery are telling me they don't have any room for, they don't have any new appointments they can put me on that day, which is not what I was looking for. I was looking for a GP referral, right? So not only are they telling me that there are no appointments available, but like, I tried to do it over the phone, and over the phone they're telling me that I'm not a patient at the surgery. Could be an error on the AI's part, but I just find that very, very interesting that after that phone call, in which I explained clearly what the capabilities of the DEW weapons are, suddenly I can't find anybody to book me an ECG. I'm going to try again Monday anyway and see what's going on there. I'm going to try again Monday and we'll see what happens from there. But yeah. I told everybody. I told Citizens Advice Bureau. I told my bailiffs I'm having attempts made on my life. So like coping with that is going to be a little bit difficult because for my mind, I've always felt this way. If I'm going to be accused of paranoid schizophrenia anyway, if I'm going to be accused of being crazy anyway, I might as well just say what I have to say. If people are trying to kill me and if people are torturing me with directed energy weapons and community stalking, I might as well fucking say it. Because if they see me as crazy anyway, I might as well say it. And this is what I legitimately do not understand about gang stalkers, right? They will actively try to call you crazy and this, that, and the third as if it's going to shut you up. And I don't understand that logic. Because if I'm crazy, if I'm seen as crazy and I'm seen as mad by everybody, why the fuck should I keep quiet about what you're doing then? I don't understand it. It's either I'm crazy or I'm not crazy. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that I'm crazy and then try to kill me at specific times where you know people will be suspicious. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't have me be crazy and try to kill me in ways that look really fucking obvious. Like you gotta pick one, man. It's either I'm crazy or I'm not crazy. You can't decide that I'm crazy and then decide that I'm gonna shut up because of it. That's not how this works. Because if I'm crazy, I can say what the fuck I want. And if I'm saying what the fuck I want and I'm crazy and I'm a wacko and this, that, and the third, and I say what the fuck I want to say, and the world can hear me say what the fuck I want to say, how do you think it looks on you when suddenly I turn out dead because of suspicious circumstances? How do you think that looks on you? So I told the truth. I tell the fucking truth, like at every opportunity. I told the truth. Why are you disabled? Like with Pip, for instance. Why do you think Pip haven't asked me for an assessment? Because every single time I apply with that Pip, I will tell them the fucking truth. I will say directed energy weapons are being fired at my back and at my organs, and I suffer with intermittent debilitation. Because that's what the fuck they do. I will tell the truth every single fucking time. I will tell the truth. I told the police the truth. I told the ambulance the truth. Why do you think they don't come over here? Unless they absolutely have to. Because they know I told the fucking truth. They know they can't silence me. They know they can't. Paranoid schizophrenia. They wrote their own ticket. If you're going to falsely diagnose me with something based on stuff that can actually be proven, you put that on your own back. That's got nothing to do with me. Why do you think the police don't deal with me? They know the truth. They know the truth. They know that they're a part of something that's endangered multiple lives to protect the worst people on the planet. To protect trafficking. They know. To protect murder. They know. They fucking know. They fucking know. Every single person involved in my case fucking knows what's been happening. And I'm talking internet influencers, including some involved in the occult. And they know who the fuck they are too. I'm talking internet influencers. I'm talking even entertainers as well. There are some entertainers who actually know about me because gang stalkers have been opening their mouths to them. There are entertainers who know about me because, again, entertainers, at least some of them, are part of a cabal. A lot of industry types are part of a cabal, part of like an alchemical fraternity or sorority. There is a lot that they fucking know. And if there are specific targets on their radar, they will hear about it. There are internet influencers who know about me and who are invested in fucking who have been told to either distance themselves from me or to denigrate me in public in weird fucking ways. Internet influencers, entertainers. Again, they're part of an alchemical fraternity or sorority. There are certain targets that they know about. They don't know about all of them, but there are certain targets that they know about. Trust me, I lived down the road from an entertainer at one point. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. There are people among my family who have betrayed me. There are people among my so-called friends who have betrayed me. And this is the thing about narcissists. They think they're smarter than you. They think that you don't know. They think that you don't know. Like, there is a thing where there are times where I play dumb to catch wise. The reason why I know about people's mind games is because I acted like I didn't know any better so that I could watch them. I act like I don't know any better so I can watch them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And for those of you who are going to say, well, why would anybody care about you? They don't care about me. That's the point. They don't care about me. It's not about caring about me. It was never about caring about targeted individuals. I come from a family of entertainers and charity workers. Those are just my parents. My parents were musicians and my mum was a charity worker. They were connected to a lot of important people. They weren't important themselves, but they were connected to some very important people. I've got members of my family that are connected to defense systems and military and civil service. I've got members of my family who know people who are Freemasons. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? This is not about caring about me. This is not about me. I'm just an ordinary woman. Like, if it wasn't for this gang stalking shit, I'd be just an ordinary woman who was neurodivergent. Who was, low to medium functioning. That's all I would be. All I would be was an ordinary woman if it wasn't for this gang stalking shit. That's all I would be. But because of the gang stalking, I'm not just ordinary. That's what happens to targeted individuals. They get elevated above the ordinary because of what they've been subjected to. If it wasn't for this shit, we would just be normal. That's the point. You know me, and I got, there are connections everywhere. So, when people are saying, oh, what's so special about you? It's not about us being special. Remember, the world operates on a hierarchy where obsessions and fixations need a place to focus on. That's usually on marginalized people. Marginalized people are target practice. Because the greatest enemies of the privileged are each other. And if they're going to take each other on and win, they need target practice. Who's the target practice? Us. So it's not about being special. It was never about being special. I am target practice for people who are well connected. I am target practice for people who are well connected. Just like every other vulnerable fringe person in this country and on this planet. We are target practice. We're not chosen ones. We're not anything like that. We are target practice. And that's all we are to these people. So it's not about me being special. It was never about me being special. We're dealing with weak-ass people who need to offset their cruelty and their rage onto us so that they can maintain superiority over their real enemies, which is each other. That's what this is about. It's not about me being special. I'm not special. I mean, I'm special to me. I like myself a lot more than I used to. So I'm very special to me. But like, in terms of the world, I'm a 40-year-old dropout who doesn't have a job. Like, who doesn't have a, like, I'm not that special to the world. To the world, I'm not that special at all. I'm special to me because I like myself. But like, to the rest of the world, I'm not that fucking special. I'm a middle-aged shut-in. Like, who the fuck cares? That's what makes me a perfect target. I'm literally a middle-aged shut-in. That's it. I'm not special to this world. I am target practice to this world. I just make sure that when I get hurt, so does everyone else. I make sure. Because that's the only real power I have. The only real power I have is when I get hurt, so do other people. That's the only power I really have as somebody in my position. But no, I'm not special. I'm not powerful. I'm not none of these fucking things. And not to this outside world anyway. What have I accomplished? Not a goddamn thing. I have Empress Justice Astrology and Empress Justice Tarot, but those are just things that I do because I love to do them. Because I like doing them. That's the only reason. I just like doing it. Because I'm low to medium functioning, neurodivergent, and mentally vulnerable. Like low to medium functioning. I do those things because I enjoy doing them. I create routine and create I create a lifestyle around doing things that I like to do. And that's it. That's all it is. Haven't accomplished anything, nothing like that. And I used to be ashamed of that until I realized exactly what I've been going through and how much I've been failed. Now I don't give myself a hard time. And truth be told, me having integrity helps too. I can't lie. Having integrity helps as well. But yeah, I'm not special over here. If I was special, I wouldn't be a target. Do you understand what I mean? Like if I was truly special, if I was truly, somebody that this world valued, I'd be the enemy that people try to placate. I wouldn't be the target practice for somebody's cruelty and rage. Ain't nothing special about me except in my own eyes. In my own eyes. Somebody said I'm a legend in my own mind. And it's true, I am. In my own mind, I'm a fucking badass. I was debilitated by directed energy weapons in pain for 12 hours. I was supposed to be out of action for at least 4 weeks. I was back out walking around in 2 after hours of torture. Badass. I've had multiple attempts on my life. Look at what I was, over the years I've had multiple attempts on my life. Moved to a whole new city, started a whole new life. Took Empress Justice Tarot out on the fucking road to the point where influential people know me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Badass. Low to medium functioning, neurodivergent. Has has the NHS in the palm of her hand. Has whole neighborhoods and whole communities in the palm of her hand. The same communities that walked around talking about how mad and fat I was. They're in the palm of my hand now. Badass. So you're damn right I'm a legend in my own mind. What the fuck else would I be? But the way the rest of this world sees me, they don't see me as that. That's fine. That's fine. They don't need to see that. In fact, if they don't see that, that helps me. Because there's one thing that I've learned in my entire 40 years of life. It's that if they can't see you, they can't fucking stop you. And none of these people, none of these perps, none of these gang stalkers could fucking see me worth a shit. Because their privilege had them thinking that they were in the stronger position every single time. It always blinded them. Even now they're going to underestimate me. Watch. And who does that help? Me. Every time. Damn right I'm a legend in my own mind. You're damn fucking right. What the fuck else would I be? What else would I be? Look at what I've been able to accomplish being a low to medium functioning neurodivergent woman. Everybody in the palm of my fucking hand. And I'm a nobody. I'm a middle-aged shut-in. And I have all my enemies, my own traffickers, my own murderers in the palm of my hand like this. What the fuck else would I be in my own mind? What the fuck else would I be? Please. Please. I've managed to do what so many other people weren't able to do with the things I actually wanted, with money, with fame. They couldn't do what I do. With the money and fame that they had, they couldn't do what I do. They couldn't have people in the palm of their hand like I have people in the palm of my hand. A middle-aged fucking neurodivergent shut-in. They couldn't do what I do. With like about 5 to 10 times the resources that I have, they couldn't do shit. 5 to 10 times the health, the good health that they have. They can't do shit like I do. Imagine if I had their resources. I'd fucking take over this planet. This would be a black planet by the time I was done with it. The fuck you mean? I have my own murderers and my own torturers walking around here nervous. There are people in the industry that I wanted to be a part of, couldn't manage what I've managed. Ever. I make people the fuck verse. What else would I be? What else would I be in my own mind? What else would I be? That's ridiculous. Please stop it. Oh, I still wish my hips would cooperate though. I really want to eat something. I want to eat, man. I might have to get Deliveroo again. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't going to get Deliveroo because I didn't want the perps talking about, oh, you know, because they already make fat jokes, right? So I didn't want them to be like, oh, she's eating Deliveroo again. That's why she's so fat. And then it occurred to me, you're literal murders and traffickers on top of being bigoted crackheads. Like, you're literally crackheads for bigotry. I don't have to care what you think. Deliveroo it is. Even though it costs me money. Ugh. But anyway, I've got to go. Peace and blessings. I really want to get those readings done today, but I'd have to see how I feel. So, take care. I love you guys. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye, my darlings.